Good morning, Piyush. A warm welcome to you on behalf of APAC News Network. Very briefly about APAC News Network. We are a media organization based, headquartered out of Noida and with presence in Hyderabad in India and outside India, branches in Singapore, Malaysia, and Dubai. Primarily till now, our strength and focus has been on the government, healthcare, and education. In fact, we are perhaps the only B2B medium in last 1 year hosted even Prime Minister Modi in one of our community building events. Plus, we are very regular with all the senior ministers and bureaucrats and the hospitals and education. Now we are also focusing on enterprise IT and BFSI, and also the idea is how to see how enterprise IT and BFSI synergize with our strength verticals, government, healthcare, and education. So that's the whole idea, and we have print, digital, as well as through events and video interactions, different delivery media. So primarily, today's discussion, what we would like is one in terms of the ESDS solutions in the portfolio. What I mean as the services and the solutions, infrastructure as a service or a software as a service or your managed cloud services portfolio. What about the traditional businesses like the colo and those? So, what are the business models around there? Then the domains that you have more traction will come specifically. So, best would be if you can start with what are the current services and solutions that are in the ESDS portfolio that you are offering in the market. You are on mute.
Yeah, so thank you, Rajneesh. ESDS is a cloud hosting service provider headquartered in India, and we started offering cloud services 12 years back in India. So we were the first one in India to launch the concept of cloud platform, and we got American patent, UK patent for our cloud technology. The way we introduced cloud to the world was much different to the way everyone else started doing cloud in those days. And all the global cloud service providers, they introduced the concept of horizontal scaling in cloud, while ESDS bought the concept of vertical scaling in cloud. And we had figured out that in the future, when the size of the compute or the size of the virtual machines that would be required would be much larger, and the size of the servers also in the future, storage machines also in the future would be very huge, as considering the requirement of the compute power that would be required for the future applications and databases. On that basis, we brought the concept of vertical auto scaling in cloud, and we are proud that the concept that we introduced has helped big time for the organizations. And the managed services that we bundled with our cloud platform, the patented technology bundled with our managed services, helped a lot of organizations in India to get onboarded on cloud platform. The biggest thing that we have done is like a lot of governments and banks have got onboarded, and because of which more than 650 million Indian people get benefited over a fortnight through our cloud services. So the digital transformation of the country has been accelerated by players like ESDS, and especially the managed services that we give to enable this kind of government organizations or banking organizations or the Indian enterprises to get onboarded on cloud platform, get the benefits of the cloud, because we all know that cloud is the future. Cloud is necessary for digital transformation of complete digital transformation of the organizations, but the cloud maturity is not there, or the digital maturity not being there in the certain organizations, so they are not able to get the benefit, reap the benefits of the cloud. But ESDS has enabled that for a lot of organizations, and we have played a very crucial role, because the MNC cloud players who entered in India, to get onboarded on their cloud platform, you need to have a certain level of cloud maturity, and that not being there in the Indian organization. So ESDS has played a very, very crucial role in cloud transformation and digital transformation of this country so far.
Okay, thank you. I would like to understand what you mentioned, the vertical scaling capacity which ESDS provided. So, if you can briefly explain in terms of ESDS differentiation on this vertical scaling vis-a-vis the large public cloud provider platforms like AWS or Azure. Or this how is this vertical scaling different, and is the ESDS platform being used by different ISVs to build applications on cloud? So is that also a business model?
Yes, Rajneesh. So, what typically every other cloud service provider does is that they actually give you horizontal auto scaling, which means when you have more and more workloads, so they keep on giving you more and more number of virtual machines, and you have to load balance your workload across those virtual machines. So, the application and the database has to be designed in such a way that it can scale out across more number of virtual machines. So let's say for an example, if you have a 500 user workload, you want to carry the 500 users from one location to other location, they will provide you with 150 cabs like Ola cabs or Uber cabs, and then you spread out those number of people across those many number of cars, and then you travel from one destination to the other destination. You carry your one workload from here to its destination. But in our case, the same vehicle transforms into from a small car to a bus, from a bus to a train. That is called as vertical auto scaling. Vertical is like where the virtual machine can automatically go on changing its size from 2 CPU, 4 CPU, 5 CPU, 10 CPU, 20 CPU. It can increase its CPU, it can increase its RAM also, it can increase its storage space also. So that is the patent which is owned by ESDS. That's the patent which we have for vertical auto scaling. And 12 years back, when the size of the servers and storages available was much smaller, so it did not make that much sense to have vertical auto scaling 12 years back. But now, when you can have hundreds of cores of CPUs and like thousands of GBs of RAM in each and every server, so it makes it very, very relevant now to have vertical auto scaling for virtual machines. And let me tell you that the some of the legacy applications and databases, and also the new generation applications and databases like SAP, for instance, or a lot of most of the applications and databases coming from Oracle, they do not support horizontal scaling, and there are challenges in dealing with handling the applications and databases on horizontal scaling, which is the technology which is launched by other cloud service providers, while ESDS having the vertical auto scaling makes it very, very easy for legacy applications as well as new generation applications to scale real time on the cloud. And also, what is the benefit, like compared to any other cloud service provider? The biggest benefit you get with vertical auto scaling is the saving of the compute resources. To have your application scale horizontally, you need a lot more compute power, and you have to always keep a lot of compute power unutilized, because you just go on allocating. It's very simple, like you just go on allocating whether you have one user to travel or two user to travel. You are allocating a 5-seater cab to each and every virtual machine, but you are not consuming all of that. But in case of vertical auto scaling, the size of your machines automatically keeps on getting upgraded. A cab would get upgraded to a 7-seater, an 8-seater, and 15-seater, 20-seater, like that. Similar to that, vertical auto scaling will only add resources to your virtual machine as and when it is required. So there is a lot of saving compared to any other cloud service provider. We managed to save almost 70% of our compute resources on the cloud. and plus it becomes very very easy to run your application. You do not need to do anything different, or you do not need to actually architect your applications or databases to work on a particular cloud platform. Any application, any database in the world can run on vertical auto scaling easily. It doesn't require a lot of maturity of the of the application. So that's the advantage which ESDS delivers through its patented cloud technology. The savings of compute resources, and the ease of use. Like any application in the world can use our cloud platform.
That's great to know. So, this brings me to one question. If we go back the last 1.5 year, during this pandemic situation, the way the businesses and operations worked, the pattern of workload itself has changed. There's so this changing pattern of workloads has how has that impacted the business operations of enterprises who are hosted by you on your infrastructure? Because I'm sure with mostly people working from home, there are heterogeneous networks and heterogeneous devices which have come into the system. So with this changing pattern of workload, how have you managed?
So, but before the pandemic, a lot of organizations were very much sure that in their lifetime they will never go on cloud. They only wanted to keep their resources on premise, and they did not also want to do a lot of digital transformation in their organizations. Whatever minor level of digital transformation they thought was necessary, they were doing it, and then they were running mostly. So in India, you have more than 1 million on-premise server rooms. The organizations call them data center, or they call them private cloud also, but there are more than 1 million such in-house server rooms in India. And factories, organizations, they have been running it from more than a decade now. So people having their on-premise server rooms from long time. But then during the pandemic, people realized that there can come a situation where you cannot go and attend any kind of fault that may happen inside your server room or inside the data center running in your factory or your office. Now, how do we fix this problem? If there was time when people were not able to utilize people were not able to log in into their ERP systems for more than a month's time because something had failed in their office. There was probably a power fluctuation or something, and because of which the data centers failed. So we received a lot of call in the initial days of the epidemic. We received a lot of calls from people that we have some backup available at so and so location. Can I upgrade the backup on your cloud, and can I restore the backup and then activate my compute resources? Then a lot of people also called that so and so motherboard board has failed of our server, and so hard drive has failed of our server in our on-premise factory data center. So can you actually help us do something, because at this point of time we cannot get parts from any external service provider. So we were actually dealing with a lot of people who had panicked because their ERP systems were not working, or they wanted to migrate on cloud on an urgent basis. So we helped them. Whatever opportunity came to us, whatever people reached out to us with, we actually helped them big time to migrate on cloud platform, and also to make sure that they have two parallel systems running in place, so that they do not actually have to face any kind of downtime. And there was also a very important realization amongst all the organizations in India, and also we've seen abroad, that digital transformation is the way forward. Autonomous systems is the way forward. You cannot rely on just Excel sheets, or you cannot rely on an ERP system where the humans are all the time putting manual inputs, and then there is a doubt on what information has been put by people. We also saw that pre-pandemic people were actually able to put a lot of junk data into the ERP systems, and then no one bothered to check what exactly. But now the realization is that if you have junk into your ERP system, the organization is going to suffer big time. So that is where we actually have come in picture and helped organizations to upgrade to cloud. And we are also helping our customers to make right decisions in respect to choosing right kind of applications, right kind of databases, and choosing software as a services now. So adoption of SaaS has accelerated in India. Pre-pandemic, the SaaS ratio in India was hardly 20% of the overall cloud revenue. So from the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service, SaaS was only 20%, and 80% was like IaaS and PaaS only. And in that 80% also, majority was IaaS only. So cloud in India was IaaS mainly, but now post pandemic, these SaaS numbers and PaaS numbers have started accelerating big time. People are adopting SaaS, so there is a massive transformation in the mindset, in the thought process of organizations. Smart metering is scaling up big time. The post pandemic, the deployment of smart metering happening across all states, across all power discom companies. So there is a acceleration that we never anticipated. Before the pandemic, no one ever thought that this is at this scale. Acceleration would happen for digital transformation in India, and we are very excited about the level at which India would reach in next 4 to 5 years because of the digital transformation acceleration that is happening right now.
Okay. One thing which brings, you mentioned earlier about many of the governments and banks that you are working with. So I'd like to understand one, overall in terms of customer numbers and customer profile, which are the domains where you are predominantly working with, and also trying to understand from an ESDS perspective, what will be the proportion of your different businesses between infrastructure as a service or a PaaS, or now SaaS is gaining ground, you are saying, as well as the managed cloud services and the traditional, the colo kind of services. So, what will be the proportion of businesses coming from?
Yeah, so colo is not a major part in our revenue. We hardly like it would be less than a so it's just a single digit number. The revenue that we make from colo, because colo doesn't bring any kind of innovation. We are an organization that was born to enable futurability for our customers, to help our customers to be relevant in the future, in the digital future. Because if there is no digital transformation in an organization, that organization may not last long until and unless they are into like probably there is no industry left now where you do not require any kind of digital transformation. We've seen the each and every, whether it is the hospitality or whether it is hospitals, or where each everyone requires digital transformation. So there is no option for anyone to stay away from digital transformation. So we are very much focused on cloud, and especially on the cloud IaaS, cloud SaaS, cloud PaaS. Though our numbers right now for cloud SaaS are little bit on the lesser side, majority of our, almost like 80-85% of our revenue today happens from cloud infrastructure as a service. But we are accelerating the SaaS solutions that we have launched. We've been launching every week. We are now launching one new SaaS offering. And for, whether for government or for banking, like for banks, we've launched loan origination portal. We've launched online admission and examination system for banks. Then we've launched for the government organization, we launched IPAS, which is an integrated planning and automation system. And this IPAS we are taking it to an autonomous software level, where majority of the things the software is going to do itself by taking the inputs from robotics or from sensors, from IoT sensors. So there would be a lot of automation we are bringing into our various SaaS offerings. We have various security solutions. For security, we have platform as a service. For we have got VTM scan, which is like you may have heard about Stop the Hacker. So similar to Stop the Hacker, we have got VTM scan. It is a much more upgraded version of what Stop the Hacker does in the market. So there are almost 35 SaaS offerings and PaaS offerings which ESDS has got, as on date, and we are going to like aggressively promote this now. Like post the pandemic, the utilization or the adoption of SaaS and PaaS is has accelerated, and we are trying to make the most out of this opportunity. We are also adding many more features and services into our infrastructure as a service portal also. So that is also going to upgrade and understanding the requirement of organizations in this country. We are scaling it up big time. Now the majority of our revenue but today is split between these three verticals only. So almost 90% the revenue that we get from infrastructure as a service, 30% from the government, 30% from the banking sector, 30% from the enterprise sector. So the revenue is also split evenly across all the verticals. And we understand because of the kind of the revenue split which we have, we understand challenges of each and every important sector in India. We work so closely with our customers that we understand what are their challenges, and we all the time keep on upgrading our services, our solutions, our platforms to make sure our customers are always excited and always happy, and they feel that this we are making them relevant for the future. We are helping them with their digital transformation journey. Now we have many partners, ISV partners, like Infrasoft is one of the partner. More than 200 banks in India. Infrasoft is there, Virmati software is there. So more than 200 to 250 banks in India, cooperative banks, NBFCs, which are using software from Infrasoft or Virmati. We actually help them to get everything migrated on a SaaS model. So we were the first one, like 11, 12 years back, ESDS and partners like Infrasoft and Virmati, we had launched a SaaS offering for banks. And the billing model was on a paper transaction or a paper branch model. So we were billing them based on the number of branches the banks had. We did not bill them for compute or for storage. We billed them actually for transactions or for the branches that they had. We understood that in the future people would only want to consume cloud on a consumption model. They would not bother to go on a capex model or on a opex model where they cannot actually link the payout with their business growth. We brought this kind of models. So ESDS is probably the only one in the world which has got the paper transaction, paper branch, paper consumption. So there are multiple billing models that we have. Every other cloud service provider in the world offers you a pay per use model. Pay per use means like you ask me for this device, I gave you this device. Whether you consume this device or not, I am going to bill you for this device. But ESDS doesn't do that. We actually bill our customers only for what they consume, and that helps them to scale their business, focus on the business growth, and rather than continuously thinking about how to optimize my cloud resources, how to reduce my billing in cloud. Our customers are very sure that what ESDS is going to bill us is what we are going to consume. We are never going to pay ESDS anything more than what our consumption is. So that has actually helped a lot of banks, government organizations, and especially the Indian enterprises who have their faith in a player like ESDS, that yes, we are here, we do not need to worry about. We rarely get any customer who comes back and says that I need to work on reducing my billing. They only now have to think about business growth, have more number of transactions and earn more out of your transactions, because we hardly take a single digit share percentage of their earnings. We do not take a massive share out of their earning. ESDS cloud is not a tax which customers have to pay. It's a very nominal share which the customers have to give us for the massive transformation which we bring in their digital journey.
So, this transformation, I'm just a little curious to know. You mentioned almost equal proportion coming from banks, government, and enterprises. Now, banks and governments, still, even the cooperative banks you mentioned, those who have been moving towards a SaaS model with solutions from Infrasoft and the likes, they are fairly evolved in the digital transformation. The government, on the other hand, so can you just indicate what sort of use cases in government are there where they are looking to digitally transform?
Yeah, so the most challenging sector for to actually provide cloud services is definitely the government sector, because a lot of government organizations with whom we have worked know their applications and databases and operating systems, their security system, their network is like more than a decade outdated. They did not perform any kind of an upgrade for more than a decade, and now suddenly they are coming on cloud. So we have to take the full ownership. Like when they come out with the RFPs, they say that whatever we have right now as it is, you have to migrate on cloud. So such outdated applications and databases, like imagine a customer running Oracle 7G right now. They have not upgraded to any of the newer Oracle databases. They are running such an outdated Oracle database and such an outdated Oracle application that even Oracle is not supporting their applications and databases now. We have to perform an upgrade for them. We have to onboard them on cloud platform. So upgrade the applications, upgrade the databases, upgrade the operating system, get them on the cloud, and then slowly make them relevant to the cloud, because then you have to, it's not just migrating a traditional application to cloud, but you also have to provide them with a lot of new generation services, the channels. Let's say a bank which comes to you with their core banking software, so now you want to give them the channels, the payment channels, different POS-based solutions or ATM solution, or a loan origination portal. The bank would want to integrate RTGS, NEFT, and various like 24, 25 solutions that we offer to our banking customers. They want that. So similar to that, the governments also want to offer a lot of services. Now the public distribution system, more than 10 states have their public distribution system, complete PDS system running on the ESDS cloud platform. Now what we do is like in the pre-pandemic time, the utilization was quite minimal of the PDS applications and databases. So they did not plan of doing anything large in the future also. But suddenly post the pandemic, the governments realized that now each and every citizen in the state, or majority like 70 to 80% of the citizens in the state are going to use the PDS portal all the time to get the ration provided, the subsidized food grains provided to them. Now, how do we handle this kind of massive workloads? So ESDS played a very crucial role for upgradation. Like more than 5 times resources were upgraded during the pandemic days. The Mudra portal or Stand Up India, Startup India portal, the PM Swanidhi, 10 times of resources were required by this kind of portals, and we provided them those resources. If you see, if you visit the websites like Mudra, Startup India, Stand Up India, Udyami Mitra, or PM Swanidhi, you will see that the services are provided by ESDS, and very smooth and stable services have been given during the pandemic days. But the massive demand was there for the loans during the pandemic time, and the hawkers were supported by the government. So the government also came up with lots of initiatives, and every day decisions were being taken, new applications were being developed, and ESDS stepped in forward and said that yes, we will take care of all these applications. We will run all these applications on our cloud platform, and we will help in digital transformation of the country. So it's probably it is the toughest job to serve the government sector in India, but until and unless you work in support with the government, you do not collaborate with the government in India, you cannot bring complete digital transformation in this country. So we decided that yes, at in one place we serve the Fortune 500 customers. We have four of the Fortune 500 companies in the world that use our cloud services, and for their core applications they use our cloud services. But simultaneously we have these customers also where the digital maturity or the cloud maturity is very poor, but we are helping them to stay relevant to the future. So it's a kind of a responsibility that we have, that we hold, and we say that if the country can be digitally transformed, ESDS has to play a very crucial role, and we have a mission of transforming lives of 1 billion people until and unless we connect lives of 1 billion people to our cloud services, our software as a services, and until and unless we connect more than a billion devices to our cloud platform, we are not going to rest at all.
That's lovely to know. Uh, Again, curious, you gave some indication that you work with a lot of ISVs. You gave mention in case of the banking ones. Now, on one hand, you have those ISVs working from banking. Then you said you have four of the Fortune 500 companies as your clients, and you work with the government departments where the digital maturity is very low. So, what is ESD's go-to-market model? What are the go-to-market strategy that you follow, and what are those initiatives under those strategy?
Yeah, so we have so what we have done, no, we have created verticalization. So for government, we have a dedicated team of engineers. Then for the private companies, we have a different team of engineers. And then for the banking sector also, we have a dedicated team. So we have created a kind of an champions or scholars of subjects, and they actually know each and everything in and out about this the verticals in which they are focused. So when a team goes to the banking customer, they go to the banking customer and tell the banking customer that, okay, now the core which you are running on premise, how we will migrate that core on our cloud platform. And once the core is migrated on our cloud platform, how are we going to help you put all the channels around your core, and make sure that your bank is a complete digital bank. You get the experience of a digital banking experience for your bank. So we actually educate the customers. First, you have to educate the customers on how the digital journey of the organization is going to be, how that customer will experience or go to have a complete digital transformation experience for their entire organization. Same way we go to the governments also, and then we have to start from the basics that, okay, you are running Windows 2003 or Windows 2008, you are running so and so Oracle application or SAP, which is more than 10 a decade outdated. But once we upgrade, once you bring you on the cloud, all the applications, database, everything is going to be new generation. Then this is how you are going to leverage the new generation technology. This is how these are the all the ISV partners which ESDS has got. These are the various SaaS and PaaS solutions which ESDS has got of itself, and these are from the partners, different partners that we have. For government also, we have many ISV partners, like from Tamil Nadu PDS system run by OSS Technologies. So that company actually takes care of the complete digital transformation around the public distribution system. We have that company as a partner, and we project that company as a partner to the customer and say that, okay, if your PDS system has to be transformed, this is how we do it. If you need a loan origination portal, or a, no, online LMS system, learning management system, where online examination, admission, everything has to be done, that is from ESDS. And then if you need a BI tool, we have these three partners who have a BI tool. So we bring a complete solution for the government customer and give it to them and say that if you have to plan and execute all these digital plans of the organization, these are the solutions we have got, and all these solutions will take your organization to so and so level in the year 2024, 2025. When you give that kind of knowledge to the customers, then they say that, okay, now let us get started, and how are you going to help us big time. So that is the value which has been created, which has been given by ESDS to the customers.
Oh, that's great. So, conclusion, we would like to finish with, if we look at the next 2 to 3 quarters, what are going to be the key focus areas? So that can be in terms of new services, new infrastructure, or new customers, whatever. But what are going to be those 2, 3 key focus areas for USDS?
So everything that you said is going to go through a massive transformation. The new customer acquisition, we are focused on acquiring a lot of large customers, whether it is government, or we have a very dedicated and focused team for the banking sector also now. and for the large enterprises also. And to get more Fortune 500 customers, we are scaling up in the offshore markets also. We have a team offshore now, and a lot of senior people working in that team to bring those kind of customers, the Fortune 500 companies on our cloud platform. So, and then parallelly, we are launching many more partner services onto our SpockUp platform. What we have created a subsidiary, 100% fully owned subsidiary of ESDS called SpockUp. And SpockUp is bringing partner services and partner solutions, and we are offering SaaS and PaaS in association with the partner. So it doesn't necessarily need to, the software doesn't necessarily need to be owned by ESDS. We are now helping, so we are creating a digital marketplace along with the partners. In the digital marketplace, currently the 50% solutions are from partners, 50% solutions are from ESDS. In the future, it will be like 80-20, where partners would have like 80% role to play in the SpockUp platform, and ESDS would have like 20% of its softwares and platforms running on SpockUp. So SpockHub is like a SaaS PaaS on click initiative of ESDS, and this is going to be a game changer. And for countries like India, we are going to play a very crucial role, because the marketplace which is being offered by other cloud service providers, it is more relevant to highly established enterprise organizations or like top digital organizations in the world. We actually have services which are for everyone, whether it is the lowest or digitally transformed organization, or whether it is an organization which has done a massive digital transformation. We have solutions for everyone on on our cloud platform, and we are going to make sure that we help everyone. The digital divide which is there currently in the society, we are going to help big time into bridging the gap between that. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. It was really appreciated. Thanks.
No, so enjoyed the session with you, Rajneesh, and unique questions, very thoughtful questions. So you are definitely a very good journalist, and all the best for the future. Would love to connect with you whenever you are here in India. Please let me know. We'll be happy to meet in whether in either in Mumbai or either in Nasik, whenever convenient to you.
Definitely. Thanks a lot.